Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Christine and I am going to show you what I started last night. I bought a big bag of pears and I am going to be making some pear sauce today, similar to applesauce, but it's made with pears. So far I've got my jars warming up in the water bath canner and some extra water, and we're going to get everything ready to go, and I'll show you how to water bath can some pear sauce. Stay tuned. Okay guys, let's get to it. So I have my pears that were cooked overnight in pretty much their own juices. I did not add any liquid to it. I chopped them up. Well, first I peeled them, just like with carrot peeler, and then chopped them up into smaller slices. And then I put cinnamon, turmeric, a little bit of ginger, and a little bit of organic sugar just to kind of sweeten it up. So these are pretty much ready to go into the food processor, and I'm gonna blend them up into a little bit finer. I do like a little bit chunkier applesauce, so I'm imagining that I'll like a little bit chunkier pear sauce. So I'm going to be using my big ladle, putting it in here, and I'm just gonna pulse it until it's the consistency that I want. So let's get to it. I'm gonna scoot it as close as I can. And I don't have it plugged in right now. So you can see that the chunks are decent in size. They're probably maybe up to 2 inches. And I'm going to go up to that max fill. Yeah, I didn't really do too many pears, so I wasn't sure how many jars this was going to make. It's probably really not going to make that much, but it's another way to preserve things. So we're going to water bath can these so they'll be shelf stable for up to, I want to say 18 months or so. And yeah, there's a lot of liquid in the bottom here. And I've got my jars. Uh-oh, my whistler is going to get ready to whistle here. So I always have extra water heated on the stove as well when I'm water bath canning, just in case I need to add more. So let's see here. I think I'm going to be able to fit the whole batch in this. So let's see here. I'm getting down to the end. So let's switch spoons. Yeah, so I bought a big bulk. I've had so much applesauce. I have a market bias that you can buy things really inexpensively, and so I've made strawberry applesauce, regular applesauce, cinnamon applesauce, and I tend to like the cinnamon things better, and cinnamon is really good for you. So I thought I'd add the ginger and the turmeric as well, which was powder. I didn't add fresh. All right, so there's a little bit of liquid left in the bottom here. And I'm gonna get this lid on. Okay, get it moved a little bit closer. And I'm gonna pulse it until it's the consistency that I want. Okay, ready. Maybe a little bit more. There's still some pretty big chunks in here. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty good. All right, so before I take this out, I am going to get my jars ready, which have been in my pot, my water bath canning pot for my smaller jars. And I don't know if you know this, but you can pretty much use any stock pot. So I bought a larger, taller stock pot at Goodwill for a few dollars, and that's literally what I'm using to do my water bath canning. I have a little silicone thing in the bottom, because that's one thing you don't want, is your jars touching the bottom. So I'm just gonna get these over here. I did too many. It's not going to be as many jars as I have in there. Which is fine, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to keep this ladle out, and I'm going to move this. I don't know, I'm not sure how you guys do your water bath canning, but I always have one of those cookie sheets out on top of a cooling rack. And then I just add a towel on top of it because I don't have granite countertops or anything where it would be safe for me to put it on my counter. So just always remember that once you're doing this, because it is very hot, you can ruin your countertop. So I just tend to do that, and it makes my life a little bit easier. I don't have to worry about it. So I have my canning funnel, I have my bubble thing, and it actually is doubles as a measuring stick too. It has 1 inch, 3/4, half, and I can't see the last one. But anyway, so it's got the measuring thing on it so you can make sure and not fill it too full. So I'm going to be doing the smaller jars today. So let's pull them out. I've had them pretty much almost boiling. I've got it on low. So I'm going to take that. I have a rag nearby. So I'm going to dump the water out so they're nice and hot, because you want to put hot product in a hot jar. So I'm going to get a couple of these out because I really don't have that much. So I've got 5 little mini half pint jars here. And you can see that they're steaming. So I'll probably maybe get 3 or 4 out. I have 5 in here. So I'm going to get the 4th one out, and then I'm going to leave the 5th one in just to hold my silicone barrier down. Okay. And any of these tools you can find at your big box store. These are the grabbers that you use to pull the jars out. I know there's fancier ones, but this was just a few dollars down the road at Walmart. So I'm going to set that aside because I'm going to be utilizing that here shortly. And then the canning funnel, I'm going to put that on top. These are all sterilized, ready to go. And I'm going to unplug this first and pull out the blade and tamp it off. And like I said, you know, the recipe is pretty much up to what you want to do. Mine is, I really like cinnamon, ginger, turmeric. And the healthier that these are, the more apt you are to feel better after you eat them. So let's get this spooned out. I probably could do a little bit of pouring, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to put it right into the hot jar. It still is steaming from overnight. And let's see how this works. Scoot it over. And it's a pretty nice consistency. And yeah, this was one of my finds, my hauls from my local Goodwill store. It's a simple food processor, but it works for exactly what I need, and it came with everything. It had 3 different blades. It also had the slicing blade. It has a different bowl to it. The only thing I think missing is like the thing that pushes things down, but otherwise I literally got it for $4 and it works and I'm good. So that was pretty exciting for me. So yeah, let's get this out of here. Might have to pull my other spoon out. So my goal was to get like 4 jars, which I think that's going to happen here. 4 smaller jars. I have some neighbors I wanted to give as gifts because they've helped us out so much. They've watched our pet for us, they got our mail for us, etc. And that's the thing about, you know, preservation stuff. Who doesn't want a homemade gift? You know, it's a little bit labor of love. Let's see. Labor of love. And I think those are the gifts that are appreciated so much more. All right, there's a little bit. I can top this one off. But yeah, I wanted to get 4 jars, and I think I accomplished that. So the rest I'm gonna just set aside and eat myself. Actually, let's taste it. Teaspoon here. Had it cooking overnight, so the pears were really nice and soft and really easy to blend up. Ooh. And excuse me, I left it at a pretty good consistency too. And I don't know, pears are one of those things that can melt in your mouth too. They're very healthy and I just love them. I grew up eating them. So yeah, that'll be a perfect little portion for me to scrape out and just put in the fridge and eat shortly. So let's get this out of the way. All right, so because this is a stickier product, you know, I did put a little bit of sugar inside. You want to take all the bubbles out. So you take the other end of the measuring thing and you just kind of go around the edges. I usually do 5, 3, 4, and 5 to get the bubbles out. We'll do that all the way around. So the other thing that I might do too, just for acidic wise, I'm pretty sure that pears are acidic enough, but I'm not going to take the chance. So I'm just going to add just a blip of lemon juice to make sure that it's preserved well. It really won't affect the flavor, but let's do it. Just like a half a cap, right in the very top here. And I'm just using, let's see, what am I using? Organic lemon juice I bought at Sprouts. Okay, so once you have that all done, the next thing that you want to do is clean the edges. So I've got out some vinegar, and I like to use vinegar especially when it's a stickier thing. So, and that'll definitely take off. So a lot of people say just use the vinegar if you're canning meat or things like that, but I like to do it when there's a sticky product because who knows if I missed or not. So you just grab it and just give it a twist. And then this way too, at this time, you can check and see if there's any nicks in the jars that you're using, because that would prevent a seal. And see, yeah, there's so much stuff on that. So even though that you use that funnel, it doesn't guarantee a clean slate here. So last one. And there we go. Okay, we're ready to go. So next thing is the lids and the rings. So I just need 4. And some people, they actually warm the lids up too, but because my product is hot, I'm not going to do that. You can if you want to, but I don't need to. So I'm just going to center it. And I hold the middle and just do, you know, kind of finger tight, not, you know, not super tight. And the same thing, center it and put the ring on. And you'll be able to tell how tight that it is. Like I said, you don't want it like where you can't get it off. Okay, finger tight. And last one. So, yep, and my water's almost boiling. So I started the water on high with the jars in it probably almost 20 minutes ago. So that's usually the first step that you take, is getting that ready. So now that I have this, this is not going on good. All right, and tight. Just kind of double check everything. So this is where this cooling rack comes in handy too, so you're not setting the super hot product right on your counter. All right, so let's give a look. I've got 1 extra jar in here that I'm going to take out. I thought I might squeeze out 5. I'm going to get rid of that one, set that off to the side for me to fill it up. And I'm going to get these jars in. And I space them out around the edge. And I'll show you here shortly. And you want to make sure that there's at least a couple of inches of water above the jars. which I do, and actually I probably have a little bit too much since I'm not doing that 5th jar. So I might have to get some out. 4. And then once it gets to a full, this one's gonna fall, full rolling boil. Yeah, this is not standing up right. Let me get this one out of here. So this was my big one that I had in there just to hold everything down. I'm gonna do some adjusting. And then I'll show you what it looks like inside the pot. Okay guys, here they are, and you can see the water's getting ready to boil. So I'm gonna turn it up quite a bit higher. And then once you see it comes to a full like rolling boil, that's when you start your timer, and the timer will be set for, it depends on who you talk to, but it's gonna be between 10 and 15 minutes. So I'm gonna do a full 12 minutes on these. So stay tuned. I'll show you what the full rolling boil looks like shortly. Okay guys, it's officially a rolling boil, so we're setting the timer. Hey Google, set a timer for 12 minutes.
Okay, 12 minutes. And that's starting now.
And we're gonna check back in when that timer goes off. Hey Google, turn off timer. Okay guys, it has been 12 minutes. So I'm turning this off, and then I'm going to set another timer for 5 minutes. I like to let them just sit, not really cool down. I mean, the water is absolutely boiling, but we're going to set a timer for 5 minutes and let them sit, and we'll be right back. Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes. Okay guys, the 5-minute timer went off for letting them sit. So let's see, we water bath canned for 12 minutes, and then at a full rolling boil, and then we let them sit for 5 minutes. So let's get them out. I'm gonna take my tongs again, and actually I like to have an extra little towel around, so I'm gonna dab it off. So let's get them out and sitting. Just kind of dump the water off the top, give it a shake, bring it over. And this again is where this extra tray comes in handy if you don't have granite countertops. Otherwise, a lot of people just set them on a towel in general. I just don't want to take the chance of ruining my countertop. And 2 more. Here's the 3rd. And you want to set them a good distance apart so they can totally cool. And they usually totally cool within 8 to 12 hours for the smaller jars. And that's it. So I'm going to let this water cool down, and I am going to get my kitchen cleaned up because it's kind of a mess from a few different projects that I've done. But if you like videos like this, oh, there was a pop. That's what you want to wait for. So 1 out of 4 so far. So yeah, you'll be hearing that lovely, satisfying noise of the pop. So replay this if you didn't hear it. I was kind of talking over the top of it. But yeah, so you hope that everything pops. And if you go back and check, you do the ring check. So you take the ring off and then try to lift it by the lid. And if it hasn't sealed, throw it in the fridge. Eat it within the next few days. And speaking of eating within the next few days, oh, there's 1 more. So we got two to go. So 2 of them have popped already. I'm not sure if you can hear it in the video with me talking so much. But yeah, so this was the little leftover portion. I'm gonna have a few bites and then throw it in the fridge myself. But if you like videos like this, kind of a little bit of random things, I do like to mess around in the kitchen, water bath can, pressure canning. I'm a little bit newer too, but it's really fun and satisfying. And I also do dehydrating videos, which you'll see. I did a little bit this morning. I do some baking, sourdough, etc. So I do Goodwill finds, hauls, from thrift stores and such. So I just wanted to say thanks for stopping by today, and hope you give it a try. Don't let it intimidate you. Like I said, I'm pretty much using almost everything that I bought at Goodwill, the stock pot, the ladle, etc. But if you find yourself not eating up those vegetables or fruits, look into water bath canning. A lot of the country right now is in winter time, so everybody's kind of hunkered down a little bit. I'm very blessed to be out in Arizona where I can utilize, that was number 3, the pop, utilize the outdoors as well. So I have my stuff dehydrating outside right now. And so you'll see the completed video on that. I'll leave that as a surprise. But if you like videos like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll be doing a few more cooking videos. I actually do a few self-care videos as well, preparedness videos. So I just want to say thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you soon, and take care and God bless. So we've got 3 out of 4 have popped already. So I'm just waiting for that last one, and then you can, after they're cooled down, you can label them and put them away between 12 months, 18 months, or give them as gifts, which is what I'm going to do to my neighbors as a surprise. So thanks again for stopping by, and God bless.